Hey you guys, welcome to My Table 3. My name is Carrie, and today I was going to show you, I'm about to cook some corned beef in my Instapots. I just worked all day today and I have to work all day tomorrow, so I wanted to take you along and show you how I prep the corned beef tonight. For our dinner tomorrow, we're having corned beef sandwiches, low carb, trim healthy mama S. So let's get started. I'm going to show you how I start with my corned beef in the Instant Pot. If you like this kind of video, make sure you comment below so I'll know. I'm trying to keep up with videos as much as I can between homeschooling. I look bad. This is what you look like when you work at home. You don't have to get all dressed up. But between homeschooling and working and vlogging, I'm trying to keep up with my channel here because I love visiting with you guys and sharing. So let me know in the comments maybe what kind of videos you'd like to see and if you like this recipe. And let's get started with that corned beef. Alright, just real quickly, here is a simple look of what I'm going to use to make my corned beef. It's just a corned beef brisket that I got at Aldi's. You can see, if it'll focus, just 2.89 pounds. It was $11.53, so a more pricier cut, but it's definitely delicious and you can make quite a few things out of it. This will feed my, if you don't like blood, look away, but this red meat will feed my family for a couple of meals, a family of 3, so it does stretch. I have a new recipe out I put out a couple weeks ago called my hot Reuben Dip. Check the comments, or sorry, not the comments, but the description below for a link to that recipe. It'll be great for any upcoming holiday parties you have, any football games, or tailgating, or any church potluck. So you simply need your Instant Pot, water, 1 corned beef brisket. I do a half onion and then celery, which this is probably more than you'll actually need. I would just do like a couple of stalks of celery, but I have this chopped up in the freezer because it was going bad in the fridge, and this is the way I save it. So this is all you'll need. I'm going to show you how I put it in the Instant Pot and cover it with the water and go from there. Let me get this cleaned up and I'll be right back. So I have my corned beef opened and rinsed. So I'm just going to go ahead and start by putting my half onion from the cutting board into my Instant Pot. Now I just have it on saute right now so it can start heating up. And this doesn't have to be exactly, I just like to flavor it with onions and a little bit of this celery that I have chipped out. So I'm just going to kind of add that in there. I would say 1 to 2 stalks if you want to add that. Now this corned beef is very flavorful, so you don't have to add that if you don't want to. I just like an additional flavor. Now here's what the corned beef roast looks like right out of the package. It is a very tough cut of meat, so it definitely needs to have too close, sorry guys. Definitely needs to be cooked in a pressure cooker or for a long, slow period of time in your oven. In the pressure cooker, I'm going to cook it on high for about 90 minutes, 85-90 minutes. That'll give you a nice, shreddable, tender texture. You can see it has a fat layer on top and then hardly any marbling through there, which definitely means you need to cook it low and slow or high pressure in a pressure cooker. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you how to lift that up. And I'm just going to put it in, I just have the 5-quart Instant Pot, so it's going to fit in there pretty good. Now if you have a larger one, you'll have even more room. If you wanted to, you could brown this on both sides, but I'm lazy. In a hurry, so I just got off of work today and I need to finish up a vlog recipe that'll be out in the next few hours. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started. And I wanted to show you guys the process because we're going to have one of our meals for this week's meal plan is corned beef sandwiches, and I'm going to show you those on this video. I'll record that tomorrow. So then you need to cover it with water. I'm just going to go ahead and cover it all the way. That's another tip. Make sure you cover it all the way because it needs to be covered. Alright, so then after I have that, the next step is to incorporate your spice package. And this is like pickling spices. It's a very traditional mix for corned beef. So I'm just going to open that up and pour it in there. Now, I do not suggest you add any salt or anything like that because corned beef has been brined and it is very salty. And then that along with the seasoning packet that they give you within it will be enough to flavor that. So I'm going to go ahead and add this in there real quick, and I'll come back and I'll show you when I set the timer. I can't do it with one hand, or I'll show you. Be right back. And ta-da! It's open. So we're just going to sprinkle this around into that. No reason to stir it up or anything as it starts boiling. it will kind of just spread around. So we're going to go ahead and put the lid on my Instant Pot. And we're going to go ahead and put this, I'm going to do cancel, manual. See if I can adjust it. Let's do cancel. I think actually I'll do meat. And it's on high. So hopefully I did meat, not manual, as I said earlier. I'm going to put this up to 90 minutes because I want it to be very tender and shreddable. If you want it to be sliced, you can cook it for a little bit less time. I'll tell you what, I will put a link to my friend Judy at Wonderfully Made Dearly Loved's blog below. That'll give you some of her techniques, excuse me, on how she cooks it. I'm going to just go ahead and get that started, let it build pressure, and cook for 90 minutes. And I'll come back this evening when it's done and show you guys what it looks like after I take it out. Okay guys, here's what my corned beef looks like. Now, I did cook this last night, and I showed you guys how I put it in the Instant Pot and added everything. I did let it cook for 90 minutes, and then I let it naturally for about 15 minutes or so, and then I let all the other steam out. And it did end up sitting on warm for probably about 30 or 40 minutes until I could get back to it. And by that time, it was too late. I didn't want to grab the camera. But so this is how it turned out, and I've started slicing it. We're having corned beef sandwiches for dinner tonight. So I've just been slicing it pretty thin, you can see. And if I don't know if I can slice it with one hand. Probably not, because I'm not good at that, but you can see, well, I almost can. You can see how it's tender enough for you to slice it with the sharp knife, you know, holding it in one hand. So not pretty bad. Now, it is done. If you're unfamiliar with corned beef, this pink color is just the way it is due to the brining process. So, the other things that we'll need are our buns, which we did the low-carb sandwich buns. I've done videos on these before. Sarah Montana at My Montana's Kitchen has this recipe on her blog. I'll try and remember to put the recipe below, but I just used almond meal this time. I'm going to show you how I put it on that bun. Then the classic Reuben will have sauerkraut on the corned beef, and then I'm going to make up just a Thousand Island low-carb or Russian dressing, as some people refer to it, just with some Duke's mayonnaise, some organic, a little bit of low-carb, it's not low-carb, but organic ketchup, just a little bit, and some pickles, and probably garlic powder and onion powder. That's just how I do mine. And then I'm going to use this to do our dinner tonight, and I'm going to get the rest of this sliced and heat it up, and I'll come back and show you how I assemble our sandwiches for dinner. Okay, so now I'm going to mix up my Thousand Island dressing or my Russian dressing for the sandwiches. So I just got a couple tablespoons of pickles chopped up in here, just chop them finely. And I'm not going to measure anything tonight. I kind of just wing this by ear. But I'll put a link to my friend Teresa's recipe, to her Thousand Island dressing. It is Trim Healthy Mama and low carb. I'll put that in the description below, so you'll have her recipe if you're someone that needs exact measurements. Check that out. So I'm just going to kind of wing it here. And we'll have some of this left over. This won't all be used for today. So just some Duke's mayonnaise, which is our favorite. And then I'm going to use some of this organic ketchup, probably about, I don't know, probably about, maybe about 2 tablespoons, I guess. And then I'm going to just sprinkle in some onion powder and some garlic, and that's about it. And that's it, guys. I'm probably going to have to water this down because it's going to be kind of thick. And we're just going to use this as the dressing on our sandwiches. You know, you could adjust this. Less ketchup, of course, would be, or if you make your own ketchup, and sometimes I make the Trim Healthy Mama ketchup. I just don't have any made right now, so we're just winging this. And since everything else we have is pretty low carb, I'm going to deal with this, since we can have up to 10 net carbs in our Trim Healthy Mama S. So there it is. That is our Trim Healthy Mama, sort of low carb, pretty low carb, other than the stuff you buy in the store. It's pretty low carb compared to that for sure. Thousand Island dressing. I've got all the meat sliced up and waiting to heat up. We're just waiting for my husband to get home from the post office. He had to run and get some stamps last minute, and then I'm going to show you how to assemble these in just a second. So I'll be right back. Now we're getting ready to eat dinner, so I'm just going to take one of the rolls that I made earlier this morning before I went to work, and I put some corned beef slices on a saucer, melted 2 pieces of Swiss, and so I'm just going to add, actually, you know what I need to do? I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of our Russian dressing, or our Thousand Island dressing, You can put as much or as little as you want. I'm going to put some on both sides because I really like it. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to put my corned beef and Swiss cheese. And then, of course, it would not be a Reuben if it did not have sauerkraut. And you could heat yours up if you want to, but I like mine cooled. And so I'm just going to put as much as or as little as you like on that. And then going to put it on there like this. And there you go. There is our low-carb Trim Healthy Mama S Reuben sandwiches. So if you guys like this video or like seeing me cook our dinners, just give me a thumbs up. Let me know in below what you had for dinner tonight or what some of your favorite meals to share. And if you've ever tried this corned beef in the Instant Pot, any way it goes, let me know in a comment what you think, and I'll see you guys next time on the videos.